I give the floor to the President of Algeria.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the outset, we would like to thank Mr. Khaled Khiari for his comprehensive briefing. We have also listened to the briefings from the representatives of civil society. Every missing person has a story, and every story has family members that tell the story with tears in their eyes. This is a tragedy. And when we listen to this tragedy told by mothers and fathers and sons and daughters that are still waiting, languishing, this is a human tragedy that we should sympathize with. It reminds us of the vision of our founding fathers. And they have built this organization on the ashes of world wars so that children do not face guns and wars. Today, we must ask the following question. Are we still true to the vision of those who have dreamt of peace? Are we inheriting the inheritors of these principles? Are we able to break the brutal cycle of wars? At the United Nations, at the Security Council, are we able to shoulder this responsibility? And if we are unable to preserve human dignity, which is the precondition of every right, then these United Nations will not live up to its slogan. Mr. President, international humanitarian law gave us a roadmap, and international law addressed every single aspect of life when it comes to missing persons as well, whether through the Geneva Conventions or the different Security Council resolutions that are binding to all, especially Resolution 2474. It was tabled by the state of Kuwait. We also have the presidential statement that was submitted by Algeria last year. Despite all that, the number of missing persons continues to increase, as if we have not learned from the mistakes of the past. In 2024 alone, the ICRC recorded over 56,000 new cases of missing persons in over 120 conflicts, 56,000 stories of pain, 56,000 dreams that languish between the heavens and hell. These are families that are living on a hope, the hope that these loved ones will one day come back home. But when we ignore the law and this becomes the rule, then tragedy becomes the normal way of life. And loss starts becoming the policy. Once again, we call on clear, firm, transparent mechanisms that will ensure full compliance with international humanitarian law and will ensure holding accountable all those who violated the law. This is not a choice. This is an obligation. No one is above the law. No one is above accountability. We call for recording the names of those that were deprived of their freedom in the right way, in a correct way, and their families should be informed of their fate. We need to respect the mandate given to the ICRC so that it can carry out its monitoring role in an effective way to guarantee that those who are detained are treated in a humane way, to guarantee that they can contact their families. Furthermore, when there is an armed conflict, we need to record the information related to detainees. We need to look for victims. We need to make sure that human remains are treated with dignity. All parties to the conflict must record all necessary information in order to identify those who were killed, to return human remains to the families. Mr. President, pain should not cause further pain. Suffering does not justify further suffering. Among the 56,000 missing persons that were recorded last year, 11,000 of them were in Gaza. Yes, they were in Gaza. This small, small land, but with great suffering. Gaza alone carried 1/5 of the suffering of our world in 1 year. And those who do not believe that this number is a cry for help, then maybe you should look into your humanity. Any attempt to justify what is happening as this is a lawless land, in that this land is not subject to international law, this should be condemned. For the suffering of the Palestinian people did not come as a result of October 7. This suffering started with the start of the occupation, which continues. This occupation continues to ignore Palestinians, the living and the dead. They are missing in the prisons of the occupation. They are missing because the occupation continues to keep their bodies as hostages. They deny their families the right to get back the bodies of their loved ones so that they can bury them with dignity. The occupation has retained the bodies of 198 Palestinian people who were killed in 2024 alone, not only in Gaza. Therefore, the number of bodies held by Israel amounts to 641 bodies. Not only is this unacceptable, unfortunately, this was legal because the Israeli court issued an order that allows an Israeli military commander to hold the bodies of Palestinians that were killed by the Israeli army and were buried temporarily in order to be used as bargaining papers in the future. Those who have this as a policy should not lecture others, should not give lessons to others, and should not play the victim. Madam President, the absence of loved ones with time becomes invisible obstacles before peace and entrenches hostility. We cannot build trust in a land that's filled with suffering and with open burial grounds. Therefore, respecting the law is a precondition to preserve our humanity. Peace, the dream of all of us, the wish of all of us, could be the only way to avoid wars and to let go of the suffering. I thank you.
I thank the representative of Algeria for the statement.